quite dangerous yet fun life. Jagatjeet, before you proceed with your speech, could you please tell us about your moment of appreciation?
2 moments of appreciation. 2 moments of appreciation. One, in my grade 10, I received a distinction, which I received after I went from ISF. I received the call at the metro station. Second, I received a chance to do a research paper with Princeton and Harvard the alumni, and there are 40-45. I'm only the youngest one. We 3 are working on a research paper, so a world-class research paper, and I'm part of that team.
And before Jagatjeet starts his speech, I would like to tell all the speakers to please keep in the time in note. And with that, Jagatjeet for everybody.
Okay. So my name is Jagatjeet. This is my first speech. So the topic for my speech, which I've taken, like the title, is My Dangerous Yet Fun Life. Okay, so I was born in a place which is called heaven and hell at the same time. Srinagar. My dad, a government official who is in the police, was the chief of SOG, that's Special Operation Groups. He was the head of operations Jammu and Kashmir for killing the terrorism operations. So I was born on March 22, 1998, before the Kargil War, 3-4 months. That was the time when terrorism in Srinagar was at the peak. The day I was born, that's what my mom tells me, the day I was born, a grenade flew through the window into the ward that my mom and I was there. But luckily, the person had forgotten to take the pin out. Second incident, a similar incident. At the age of 1, I, with my dad, were traveling by road from Srinagar to Jammu. The tunnel, the major tunnel, there's a tunnel in between which was closed due to snow. We had to take an alternative route. There was an ID blast under our car, but the car was bulletproof. Nothing happened to us, only the tires bursted off and we could escape easily. So as by now you could have related that my life was dangerous till I reached Delhi. So actually it was a lot of threats on my life, my family's life, mothers, fathers and all, a lot of threats. I was this close to be abducted. I'd gone to eat ice cream with my cousins, and at home my servant received a call that they're talking in Punjabi that we are on the other side of the roundabout. We are seeing him. If you can call him back, call him or we'll shoot him. And it was me and my cousin and no one else there. I hadn't taken the security with me. So then I was called. I was told to go into the nearest shop, and then people came. They took me home, and then that was the moment I was most frightened. When I reached home, I was telling that if I was there, if the phone call delayed by 2 or 3 minutes and I was there, I would be abducted by today and not standing here. Then from there, moved on from life, got educated in Jammu and Srinagar, and then one day my uncle, he was with us, he was living with us, so seeing our situation, seeing the threats on our lives, he asked my dad to shift me to Delhi in Pathways World School. So I came here on 1st of January 2004. I didn't have my New Year, so New Year gift, Delhi. So here again, adjustment problems from Srinagar, very less speaking of English at the age of 1 here. At the age of 1, kids were like Barack Obama and I was like Lalu Prasad Yadav. And so there I had issues to get in. Then again, here also threat calls that started. So I was more safe than there, but not safe as in normal people. So then all of it reduced. I got into the more modern Delhi way of living, became a Gurgaon wala, and then moved on with life. Then forgot all of that. When it came to teenage, that's present. I still reflect onto that topics that things used to happen to me, and it was like it used to happen to all families, all government official families, but targeted to my dad because he was the chief of that operation group. So from there, three things I got to reflect and take on in life. One was to because of the Indo-Pak issue was that the terrorism was created there. So one was to do something to solve that issue so that what happened to me, what I suffered, what I had to transform wouldn't happen to someone else. So I joined this I joined this research paper with Princeton and Harvard to solve that issue and all. So that was one thing. Second came the public speaking came from that, because I also had a political touch to my family. So then I, in fun only, my dadu and nanu, my grandfather used to tell me that one day after retirement you should become a politician and all of that. From there the public speaking thing came on, that if I need to be a politician I need to be a good orator. So from there the public speaking came in. And the third thing I learned from these incidents is that how much, it was a message that I learned for them, for the people who used to threaten us, that how much you threaten us. You give us one call, you shoot us, you put an ID, you throw a grenade, still we won't fall out. We will still stand, and we will stand against you. So taking that goal in life, what I pursue to do, what are my aspirations? One is international relations, that's more like a diplomacy related with a politician. And second is more self-passionated job, which is an automobile engineer. So my life, from coming from a city where you didn't have that much of one couldn't have that much of aspirations, one couldn't have that much of hope to do good, to come to this stage where I can say that I've done something with my life, which from the point I was born to here, I've gone 1,000 times better. Thank you.